You know, in our past discussions on all these different types of visual effects, we've met a bunch of pioneers, leaders of their craft and discipline. Walt Disney, Stan Winston, Ray Harryhausen, the list goes on. But if you're going to talk about credit sequences, title sequences, animation and graphic design put together, you got to talk about Saul Bass. This guy is basically the first name that comes to mind when people talk about introduction to credit sequences and motion design, cinematic sequences. Saul Bass was a graphic designer and a filmmaker, perhaps best known for his design of film posters and title sequences. That's Saul right there in the corner. During his 40-year career, Bass worked for some of Hollywood's greatest filmmakers, including a great rogues gallery of greats like Alfred Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, Otto Preminger, Billy Wilder, and Martin Scorsese. For Alfred Hitchcock, Bass also designed effective and memorable title sequences, as well as storyboards for North by Northwest, Vertigo, and Psycho. Toward the end of his career, Bass was rediscovered, so to speak, by James L. Brooks and Martin Scorsese, talking about in the mid-90s or so, who urged him to return to main title design. You've seen this guy's work, whether if you've seen a fair amount of movies, you've seen this guy's work. They urged him to return to main title design. And for Scorsese, he and his collaborator and wife Elaine created title sequences for Scorsese's films like Goodfellas, Cape Fear, Age of Innocence, Casino. Casino was actually his last title sequence. I want to give credit where credit is due to Saul Bass's wife, Elaine. She was a huge creative force in his life, and I would venture so far as to say she was a creative partner. So whenever we talk about Saul Bass, I think we need to talk about Elaine as well. It was a team effort, and she deserves a great deal of the credit. In a sense, all modern opening title sequences that kind of introduce the moon or the theme, basically what we've been talking about, are a legacy of Saul Bass's work here. He designed the titles for over 60 movies. That's a lot of work. Guy likes to stay busy. Of course, he's not with us anymore. Before the advent of Bass's title sequences, starting way back in the 50s, actually, titles were generally static, separate from the movie. Painted in a nice font, but really fairly generic, and really just was there just as an extra piece of artwork that really had little relation to do with the actual movie itself. It was common for them to be projected on the curtains way back in the day. Later on, it was like on clear sheets of acetate in front of the camera and stuff like that. Not a whole lot of thought went into it, apart from just, having someone who's fairly competent at painting letters and just put the letter up there, maybe an embellishment in the corner here and there. And that's about it, really. So we've come a long way. And Saul, I'm going to show you a bunch of Saul's early work and as well as his contributions to the later Scorsese films, Goodfellas and Casino and stuff. And not only that, but I'm going to show you some of the newer artists creating title sequences that are directly related to Saul's work in mood, spirit, composition, basically everything. You could draw a line back to Saul for pretty much all modern cinematic title sequences. Pretty influential guy. Check out this greatest hits of Saul Bass.